Where does that rank, Paul?
It ranks it's in its own category, I think, because it's very different. It meant more than, obviously, the 2 points don't mean anything to us at this point. I think Lee last week, the connection that a group of new players had with the supporters, the connection that I felt, the love from the support, just went a different level today, and so it's just in its own category. I think it was actually a day to show what Salford offer as a club, and this club's got a lot of soul, a lot of spirit, a lot of pride, and it offers a lot. Just thinking on the way here, the last 5 or 6 years, sort of 2 Man of Steel's grand final, the Challenge Cup, playoff football every year, a great away support, and it's a story of the underdog always fighting, never give up, and today reflected that in many respects. So in a sport that prides itself on giving people a chance, and you don't need loads of money to play this sport. You just get a ball and a pair of old boots and you can play. We're that we've got everything apart from a load of money in our pocket. So I'm very proud, and it runs a bit deeper, doesn't it, sometimes, sport. So I'm very proud of the very fabric, the very tapestry of Salford Red Devils. So today was a good day.
Were you thinking about the things that the club has achieved over the past few years because of what's coming up next week?
No. Just
thinking about that?
I'm not thinking about any of that. Please, I've had a good day. Do not start, Gary, with that stuff.
I'm not starting, but it can't be denied that it is the big day coming up.
Mate, I'm talking about rugby. I've had a good day. Please don't tarnish it and spoil this presser by asking me them questions.
Since when has Justin Sangare been a prolific try scorer?
He's a weapon, isn't he? He's and again, you've seen it with Jack Ormonroyd, a little bit of pressure off, carefree, and again the connection from the fans and that. The lads, new and old, the ones who represent the other, clubs that have kindly loaned us players. I can't speak highly enough of them all, so I'm really pleased for Justin actually getting 2 tries as well, and I think it was they were popular as well amongst the supporters, and it's just a good day.
You wouldn't have known that was Jack Walker's first game. Talk me through when did he actually link up with how many training sessions he had, etc.
So we've had 2 training sessions this week, Monday, Wednesday, obviously play tonight, so Jack's been with us for 2 sessions, and we made a decision to put him in ahead of Murphy there, so it was a bit of we made some good calls, some brave calls I will say this week, myself, Kurt and Chrissy, but he's made a commitment to test himself and back himself back in Super League, and there for all to see that he slotted in seamlessly, and he was very good.
And progress that likes like Nathan Connell have made it, as they were in the toughest of circumstances, is a bright spot for a dark time, isn't it?
That's a real highlight on the season, Gary, that people like Nathan, he had such a tough pre-season, and what I mean that is that the environment was tough. So he's in wrestling sessions coming from development academy, and he's wrestling Nenny and Tim Laffey and all. It was a physically tough and demanding pre-season that he went through, and I'm sure he's grateful of that now, because he's been outstanding, and and he's done that. You forget it early in the year. I think at Catalan away, he busted his shoulder, and I don't even think he missed a game, maybe one. So he's patched himself up week on week. He's never seen as much strapping, and so he's learned some really good lessons, and he's become a really competent Super League player.
Speaking of strapping up, Jaden Nickery just on the bench really showed his experience, didn't he?
Yeah, and it gives the rest of the lads a bit of confidence as well. So to have Joe Mellor last week, Rowan Mills, Jaden, and Sam Davis back as well as a 9 in there. So people who in positions that they should be playing, gave us some real good options. We had to get creative with our bench at times today, but Yeah, you're quite right. I think Jayden, and there's much more to come from him as well. So, but having him on the field and running the show along with Rowan was fantastic.
Just one last one for me. Is the idea now to basically build for the remaining games this year with an eye to next year and sort of hitting the ground running sort of thing, or hitting the ground?
Again, you know what I'm going to say. It's every day as it comes, and that is exactly as it'll be because again they're not our players. I think we can confidently say that most of the loan players now will be consistently with us for the rest of the year. Again, of which we're really grateful to their clubs. Like I said before, we'll just take it as it comes. But we'll try and make our environment as enjoyable as possible, and maybe learn one or two things as well. But that's probably the difference that last week enabled us as coaching staff to just put a little bit more into our practice, and that was fulfilling for us all.
Just one last one I just thought of, just for clarification. Is Jack Walker a Salford player or is he on loan?
He's a Salford player, Jack. He's joined us.
Sheffield, didn't he?
Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Did you come here, Paul, feeling Warrington could be vulnerable tonight?
Well, they've clearly had an inconsistent season, but still the lineup was strong, and it's an hard answer for us because we try and focus on ourselves more. Even in adversity and when it's been really messy, we try and always have a little bit of defiance about us as a staff, and try and put that on our players to expect to win and hold standards high. But obviously it's been unrealistic at times. But I must admit we had a feeling tonight that probably because of our practice really and our consistency within the team, having Jayden back, them sort of things, we knew we'd be able to compete. Where it was all about how long we could compete for, really. And you saw that last week against Lee. We got blown away in the second half, but we thought if we could just try and build on the good bits of last week and take some warning shots from, in particular, the second half when they rolled us up the middle. So we were quite clear and comfortable to know what we needed to improve on to give ourselves a chance today. So, but yeah. Clearly what Warrington haven't been where they would want to have been, so that we understood that as a club it expects more, and we understood that if we could get a decent start like we did against Lee and build pressure and sustain pressure, that pressure would become more on Warrington, and it would become more difficult for them. So yeah, we would have took all our points available, the twos, and we'd just keep chipping away and building pressure, and that was probably our focus. But as it happened, we got into an arm wrestle and looked really comfortable, which was a pleasant surprise for me and the coaching staff.
Do you feel like you've kind of proved a point to me, because you've obviously been written off by a lot of people?
Yeah, not as a team, more as a club. Just that, I'm just more pleased for the supporters to showcase what they're about, and I'm sure the Warrington supporters, will be appreciative of the support that we had and the atmosphere that our fans created, and Warrington reciprocated really well. So I thought they were really respectful of our club and our players, at times during the game there, so we appreciate that. But yeah, as a team, I don't think we was ever here to prove people wrong as such, because like I said before, that a lot of these players aren't our players. So I think more about I just thought we came with belief, I think, is the overriding emotion, that we came with belief. We were somewhat connected from a good week's practice and consistent team selection, and and we thought if we got good start, then we'd see where it got us, and we'd reassess at half time. And as it happened, we came in a decent position at half time, and and obviously went on to do it. So I think some of our try line D probably gave us a lot of that belief as well. I thought we defended our try line particularly well on occasion, come up with some really good reads, which is a credit to the individual players, because I said it last week, we've not really had a chance to embed structures and process defensively, so they're on different pages half the time. But they've through good communication, and they've provided some clarity to each other. And like I said before, defence is all about solving problems, and they had the belief to solve problems, but more than anything, they had the will and desire to solve problems, and I think it's a win for character tonight. That's for sure.